said, it's been about 4 weeks since I updated because I was away for 2 weeks, and then I couldn't find my camera for about a week, and then I didn't have an SD card for about a week. So a lot has changed. I'm also on the old camera, so I probably won't be in frame for 90% of this because this one doesn't have a flip visor or whatever they're called. So I apologize for that in advance. The spring garden is looking pretty crazy because we're wrapping up for the year. We have been getting colder nights than the last time I filmed. So, well, and colder days. There have been some cold days. So I've wrapped the tomatoes, the tomato trellis in plastic to hopefully keep them a little bit warmer so that we can get more that actually ripen, because I did plant the tomatoes a little late and they still haven't quite had time to ripen yet. Inside the greenhouse, there actually are plants. I've transplanted my 2 smallest tomatoes into pots, which are the Roma tomato and the Pantano Romanesco that broke in the hailstorm at the beginning of the year. These 2, well, these 3, there's actually 2 in one of these pots, are they're Agra Poli di Invernos that my grandma actually planted, but I knew they weren't gonna grow fast enough for us to have a crop during the summer, so those are coming home with us. I've transplanted a serrano pepper that was out in the cold and starting to frost. And these are all the apples, as well as 2 little tomatoes that aren't going to, the apple trees won't last the winter, they're too small. And the tomatoes, they ended up sprouting in another plant's bed, so I just repotted them, so we'll see if they grow. They should be pretty big by next spring, and they should be able to go in the ground, which would be kind of nice. Our peach trees still are not planted. They are starting to go dormant, which is why the leaves are so sad looking, but that's what I want. We might actually wait on planting these until next spring, because I don't think they're going to have enough time to establish any roots whatsoever before the frost actually hits. So I think I'm going to take them home and give those to my sister as houseplants. And our 3 apple trees, which actually haven't started showing any signs of dormancy, so they're tolerating the cold pretty well. We have our little oregano. It's dirty looking because I dumped ash on it, so that is why it looks like that. Our sweet potatoes have started to die, but we are actually going to leave those until next fall, because I've been seeing people saying that they actually leave their sweet potatoes for 2 years. So I'm going to try that, because I actually have a different variety I'm planting next year anyway, so it'd be interesting to see what the difference is. Our potatoes are starting to die as well, but I can't quite tell if it's frost or just fungus. All of the kale and lettuce has pretty much been picked, except for this one little batch of butter crunch, because my grandma wanted me to keep that one around. And this, what I believe is a mustard, because I do want to get the seeds from that. It was the only one from the entire packet that actually grew, because it was a very old packet of seeds. Our African huckleberries are nearly completely ripe. They need to get a little bit softer, but once they do, we can actually see what those taste like and how they do in a syrup or something. All of our squash are not doing great. I had to pull out all the cucumbers because they all died in the frost, but they weren't doing well anyway, and a lot of people around here had problems with cucumbers this year. We got our first golden zucchini, and the zucchini are not doing well because they all need fertilized, so I did fertilize them about 2 weeks ago, and they are doing a little bit better now that they've been fertilized, but next year we're definitely going to focus on increasing the care of our squash, because this one got frostbite, because they aren't doing great, and we really haven't gotten any harvests off of them. This one has lots of little tomatoes that are starting to ripen, which is interesting because this one's actually in the sunlight less than the one on the other side, and the one on the other side does not really have any that are ripening besides those 2. Over in the winter squash garden. I have covered the Marion blackberries in hay. Marion blackberries actually are not, I guess they're not adapted to this region. They're a zone 6 plant, and we're in zone 4. So the hay is mostly to keep them from freezing to death over the winter, because as long as I can keep one alive, I'm fine. Our raspberries have gone completely insane. These are the raspberries that I transplanted at the beginning of this spring that I took from my childhood house. And I cut all of the blossoms and blooms and branches back when we planted them, and they're actually growing like dozens of raspberries. So I'm hoping to get like one little crop of raspberries before the end of the year. And this is exactly why I wanted these plants, because I knew they were completely insane. They're very well adapted to our environment. And these ones are actually like 6th generation, because these are like the descendants of the ones that were there when I was there. Our corn, I actually don't know how it's doing. It's really hard to tell, like without peeling the corn husks away and staring at it. We have some little deformed corns that kind of help me get an idea of what's going on inside the corn. We also have ants farming aphids, which would be awesome to show on my other camera because it has that awesome macro setting, but you can't really see it. It just looks like dirt. They're not actually getting inside the corn, just the leaves, so I'm not too worried about them. Our newest addition to the squash baby family is a little black futsu. It only got pollinated like 2 days ago, but it's already about twice the size it was. We also have 2 acorn squashes. This one is in my grandmother's acorn squash bed, and this one is in my squash bed. So we have those to look forward to. The butternut squash really is not any bigger than it was. Like I said, they pretty much all reached a pound and then gave up. The luxury pie pumpkin is starting to turn orange. I'm very happy about it. I'm very excited for my little baby squashes. We have a Burgess buttercup, but it's a little bit weird. The back half of it is growing, but the top is not, so I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with that. Our spaghetti squash, the only one that got over a pound, I think it's like 2 or 3 pounds, is turning yellow, so it should be ready soon. And over here, our runner beans are actually growing beans all over the place, and I have tasted them. They basically taste like edamame, except you can eat the shell, so I'm going to cook them like edamame with butter and stuff, and salt. They get pretty big. The beans inside can get to be about 1 inch. I was unsure about these black coat runner beans because the packaging describes them as an ornamental, so I thought maybe they weren't going to be any good to eat. But they're actually really good, so I am definitely going to be growing them next year. They also grow insanely fast because when I left the homestead last time, we had no beans at all. I think we had like a couple little teeny tiny ones, which I saw like in editing later. But when I came back, we already had beans like this size, and it was like less than a week between me leaving and me coming back to the garden. Yeah, they grow fast, and they grow everywhere. Like every time you walk by them, you see more that you missed. We have another little batch starting to grow here. But there's always a bunch hiding. So I'm very excited about these. I really like them. Our end of the year update on the apple tree is that it has not bloomed at all. So we will see next year if it's even alive. I think the rootstock might be okay, in which case I'm actually going to use this plant to graft my great-great-grandmother's apple tree that is currently on her old property. But it's a very old tree, so it's almost dead. There's like 2 sections of it that are okay. it looks funny, the tree looks funny, because I painted it white with very diluted latex paint, because that keeps the sun from doing this, where it dries out and then cracks the skin, and then thaws and cracks the skin. So the top part, I think pretty much where that cracking starts is where the tree is dead. And then everything under it is where the tree is alive. So next year I'm hoping we'll actually see some growth on that tree. Our choke cherry looks very sad, but it's actually doing amazing. I've probably watered it 3 times the whole summer, but it's already established an amazing root system. And I think the deer might have done it a favor by eating all of those leaves, because if you remember when I planted it, there were probably like 400 of these ridiculous little runners because of how grown it was in that pot. So I think the deer have gone and basically eaten all of the overgrowth, because we have like little baby leaves. They've basically pruned it for me. So next year we will give it a cage, but I'm gonna buy more choke cherries if this one survives the winter, because I was under the impression that they didn't grow well up here and that the other one around here was a fluke. But if they grow this well, then I think it's worth getting 3 or 4 more. And here's our one little golden zucchini. They don't get very big as far as I'm aware, because even on the package they're only about this size. But the main reason I picked it this small is because I wanted to see if the other zucchini on the plant would start growing if I picked it. But it hasn't, so I don't think that one got pollinated properly. We also have one of these ones that was about to shrivel up and die, so I cut off the blossom end to stop it from doing that, and then we're just going to eat it tiny. Since I didn't have much luck with zucchini this year, I got 2 big ones from our family friend to make that jam out of. I did make one small batch out of one zucchini that I got, which was about this size, and that batch was orange flavored. I ordered more orange gelatin, but it got lost in the mail, so I might use lemon as a base and make it peach flavored, but I haven't decided yet, because if I can get the orange in a couple days, then I'll use that as a base, but I still want it peach flavored. I just want a peach flavored batch. Good morning, it's August 16th, and this is the first cold day I've been able to film. I don't know if it's going to be cold all day, but right now it's probably about 40 degrees, maybe 30. I don't think it's 30, I think it's only 40. There isn't really anything on the plan for today that I can think of, but I'll probably find something before the end of it, because there's still a lot to do for winter-proofing everything. Sweet, sweet Liddy is in her coat, and she's probably just going to stand here for the next hour because she thinks she can't move when she wears it. Do you want a milk bone? We just got back from the store with the rest of the ingredients I needed for my zucchini jelly. So I am about to cut all of the zucchini into shreds, and I also bought, oh, I took it inside. They're just little teeny tiny fondant cookie cutters, and what I'm going to do is cut little hearts out in the zucchini skin and mix that into the jelly, so then there's little hearts in it. I love this hand grinder because it gets the shred really nice, but it also leaves behind the really tough skin part, so you don't have like those chewy bits in the jelly when you're done. I'll also throw in the tiny zucchini as well, because there's no reason not to. I don't have any special plans for this one, so it can just become jelly. So while I was at the craft store getting the little cookie cutters, I also found $5 mystery boxes. It's like they're out of stuff, like out of season leftover stuff. I bought 2. I probably would have bought in more if it was just me, but I decided just to get 2. I'm expecting it to be probably, I know for a fact there are like fake flowers in them because both of them have fake flowers on top, probably to hide the stuff inside. But aside from that, I'm expecting like maybe out-of-date calendars and things, or just out-of-date things in general, like happy 2019 graduation stuff, and ornamental stuff. But other than that, I have not looked inside at all, so I'm going to open these on camera. So of the two, I'm going to open the lighter one first. The lighter one, weight-wise. So this one has, let's see, it looks like a food tray. 4th of July food tray. Peonies, fake peonies, in a pot. Oh, this is kind of cute. Fake tulips in a pot. It's actually a watering can, so if I can get this stuff out, like get the flower foam out of it, that would be pretty awesome. It seems pretty well packed in there though, like it's been glued in, so that might not be possible. Red, white, and blue napkins, but only the white ones for $6. I can see why these didn't sell. A little tiny bouquet of fake roses. That's pretty cute. There's a lot of fake flowers. Oh, okay, so I actually almost bought these. They're just decoration banners. I almost bought them when my sister visited as decorations for the camper, so that's pretty cute. It's also not really, I guess, event and or season specific, so you can kind of use it for anything. It looks like a balloon banner. That's actually pretty awesome. So this one also isn't event and or season, like holiday relevant, so they're just cute little balloons that you blow up. That's pretty cute. A tube of what I'm guessing is tempera paint. All it says is washable paint, but children's paint is usually tempera paint. And tempera paint isn't the greatest, but I'm sure I will find a function for that. A tiny bundle of twine for all your tiny bundle of twine needs. Another package of white napkins. $6 white napkins. Could you imagine? Oh, I actually did buy some of these marked down at a different Michael's. I don't know if it's this exact one though, because I don't remember there being a cactus in mine. I think it was just alpacas. But yeah, so there's this one, which is pretty cute. Little stamps. What is this? Red, white, and blue. Oh, bicycle license plate. Party like it's 1776. Yeah, so that's 4th of July. I think a lot of this stuff is going to be 4th of July. It's cardboard, so it's nothing special. So we'll find someone who wants that. This, I'm not entirely sure what this is. I don't know if it's a photo album. I'm assuming it is, but it could also be, yeah, memories. It's a photo album. That's a pretty cute one. I mean, it was apparently $10 marked down, $29 new, so that's not a bad price. I don't scrapbook often, and that's probably not the one I would pick if I was picking the photo album, but that might actually be useful for something. Oh my goodness. Dual tip artist loft markers. I hope that's what's actually inside, because these are the markers I use. Well, these and the Prismacolor. I can't actually open it. There's so much tape on it. Give me a second. So that is, in fact, what is in the box. And funnily enough, I passed up another one of these boxes because I saw the Artist Loft logo through the little peephole, and I assumed it was a paintbrush set, which I didn't need, so I did not get that one. So hopefully there's one of these in my other set, because this is a $100 set of markers. Wow. Yeah, I've been out of markers forever because I just never replaced them. That's awesome. I am very happy with this haul now. I really thought I was just going to get a bunch of crap that I could laugh at. But now I have new markers! That excitement aside, let's see what the last couple things are. Decorative tape. Oh, it's washi tape. I'm assuming that's the design inside. I'll open it though, just to verify. Yep. It is in fact that design. And so this one was $8 new. I've never used washi tape for anything. This is the old camera, so it doesn't do the cool macro stuff. Ooh, I actually really like these. I'll probably just use it for seed storage, but it's just one of those little pendants that you put things in. Little steampunk one with angel wings. So I'll probably put seeds in that, but maybe I'll find something else. And we actually also bought one of these. This is just an activity kit. My mom likes to buy activity kits and stuff, so it's just a little activity kit. We bought one of those on markdown. And I did see this one through the little peephole, so I did know this was going to be in here. I think we bought ours for like $1, maybe 95 cents or something, because they were like on extra clearance, like ultimate clearance, because no one wanted them. So far, I'd say the win is this. I am very happy about this, and also kind of sad that I passed up the other box of markers. I might have to go back for those. See, I should have bought 4 boxes. Now for the heavy box. More flowers. This one has a really pretty wreath. And, what is this? Another kind of flower. It's like poppies. Oh, this one's full of flowers. I can see it already. I don't need all these flowers. No wonder it was so heavy. It's full of flowers. Why are there so many? I thought the flowers were just space holders. I mean, they're cute, but I only need so many fake flowers. There's so many. Even my grandma won't be able to use this many fake flowers. Okay. The next thing I noticed is freaking yarn. It's actually super cute. That 70s yarn, so it's like a striped tacky yarn, but I like it. I was kind of hoping I would get yarn in here, so I am happy about that one. It's hard to say how much it's worth new, probably $3. I mean, the goal in here is not to get things that are actually worth my money, because it's pretty easy to get things worth your money when you only paid $5, so I've already made my money back. A 2020 planner, so I was right about out-of-date calendars. But, it might make a nice little notebook. I'm sure I can Pinterest uses for out-of-date calendars. Okay, what is this? Dream Big. Is this a guided journal? No, it's another planner. So this one is 12 months, 2020. Okay. So now I have 2 out-of-date planners. That is not the greatest. Little bonfire. That's kind of cute. You just paint it. Oh, I called it Class of 2020 photo album. I don't know anyone who graduated this year. I mean, I'm sure I do distantly in the family, but I personally do not know anyone. Oh, another one of those planners. And another one of those planners, but in a different design. And this one's kind of beat up. Yeah, there we go. Man, I should have gotten that one that had what I thought were paintbrushes, but were apparently markers. Graduation cap decoration. If I will focus. Ooh, stickers. My mother would like these for her organizer. Oh, these are actually really cute. They're like boho organizers. Oh, I actually do like this one. And these ones are usually $10. It's not priced, but I've bought stickers from this brand before, so I think in this box this one is the winner because I'll actually use it, and that's the only reason. Another graduation cap decoration, another graduation cap decoration, another graduation cap decoration, and that's the box. So in total, the 3 things I will probably actually use are these stickers because they're cute, this yarn because it's cute, this little locket thing, and let's see, I'll probably use these decorations at some point. And lastly, the markers! I'm gonna have to make my grandmother go back to town tomorrow to try and find more. I don't know where I set those. They're buried. Maybe the gremlins stole them. Oh, it's right here. I can't believe it. That's amazing. So, $110 worth of stuff that I'll use. I'm sure there's like $200 worth of junk here, but I'm not gonna use any of that. I was looking at the flower wreath, and it's worth $60. People take their flower arranging seriously. Or that's why it was in the $5 clearance bin, because nobody wanted to pay $60 for a fake flower wreath. Good morning. It's September 17th. I have not brushed my hair yet, and I'm about to go make jam. Zucchini jam. Lily is frolicking because she got yogurt. Yes. You got yogurt. It takes 2.5 gallons to fill the canning bath. Fortunately, I have a container that is exactly 2.5 gallons, and then I usually take an extra 1 gallon just in case I need it for washing stuff or adding to the recipe. And here's all the little hearts I cut out. There's not a lot of them, but I didn't want a lot of them anyway because the zucchini skin doesn't actually break down, so they're just going to be little crunchy bits in the jam. So only 1 or 2 every once in a while is better than tons. I'm also using frozen peaches. I thawed them out, so I need to cut those into little cubes. And instead of regular sugar, I usually use Turbinado Sugar. For these recipes, you generally flavor them with gelatin. I was supposed to have orange gelatin, but the order I made got lost in the mail. So instead today I'm going to try using this lemon one because that's the only citrusy one that I have. And if it doesn't taste quite right, I'll add some of the orange Jell-O that I have, because I do have a box of actual Jell-O here, but I don't like to use the Jell-O because it's artificially flavored. And I figure if I'm going to spend 2 hours canning something, it should at least have actual ingredients in it. The stove in here doesn't actually get hot enough to boil my water, so I usually just have to leave it sitting there forever until it gets too hot to touch. So while I'm waiting for that, I usually mix all the ingredients into the pot that I need to, and then I sort out all of the jars I'm going to use, so I need to go run over to the shed and get some 8-ounce jars, because I have used all of my 4-ounce jars. It turns out I'm nearly out of 8-ounce jars too, so I just grabbed some of my straight-sided quart jars, because they're pretty cute. These might be pints. I can never remember which is the pint and which is the quart. But I like to put jelly in. I actually like to put everything in straight-sided jars. They're just not really what the stores sell anymore. So whenever I find straight-sided jars at thrift stores, I buy them, because they make the jelly look nice. Not all of these jars will fit in the pot at the same time. I mean, this batch probably will, and then that batch. So I'm going to have to can them in 2 separate batches. Hopefully this mini jars will be enough and I won't have to use the bigger ones. But this jar is my favorite because it looks super vintage. I don't know if it actually is or not, but it doesn't have any brand logos on it. And it's usually only with vintage jars that you see that. Yeah, because this one also doesn't have any brand logos on it. Because generally, these days, they put their name on it. And now that the canning bath water is hot, I have enough space to actually cook the zucchini. So, I'll be doing that for like 20 minutes. I'll link this recipe below, plus whatever adjustments I make to it. And you guys can decide which version you want to cook. I probably won't be able to film any more of the cooking of this, or at least not a lot more, because my battery is almost out again. This is why we bought the new camera. I gotta buy myself one like I bought my mom. I had almost exactly enough space to fit all the cans. I could have probably fit one more tiny one, but now you can't see it because it's foggy. But I didn't have one more tiny one, so this works. The jam looks how I wanted it to, with the little hearts next to the glass. Now we just have to wait and see if it sets, because I changed the recipe quite a bit for this batch because I had way more zucchini than I needed for the recipe, but I decided to use all of it anyway. Our jellies officially set. I think they're at a bit of a soft set. I probably should have added more gelatin, but they are pretty much done. The peach did make them a little bit cloudier than the pineapple did, which is what I used last time. But I think if I make some adjustments, I should be able to get even the peach jam to be a nice clear jam. Hello, welcome back to the homestead. It is September 21st. The camper is a mess because this is what happens when you live in a tiny camper for 7 months. So next year we're going to focus on organizing. Other than that, I haven't been able to find my camera all day, so I didn't film everything I did. But my grandma remembered where I put it because we had to get it out of the rain one day, so I shoved a bunch of stuff in a bag and it was in the bag. Firstly, technically secondly, but firstly closest to the house, I did pick some of the corn because some of the corn is ready. I'll show you the cute little cobs. They're like that big. And we'll be cooking those cobs tonight along with some of the black runner beans. And that will be dinner. And I'll save the cobs without the corn to make corn cob jelly, which you put on cornbread muffins apparently. And then the other work I did today was out in the field in preparation for next year. I got a bunch of old rotten hay from my aunt. And so I started a little pile back here, and I will probably go back to get more of hay from them. And so that'll be our mulch pile. And then I also laid some hay out right here. And this is where the garlic is going to be planted. We've also done something very exciting back here, and I don't think you'll be able to actually see it on the camera very well, so we'll get a little bit of a closer look. We've planted both of the peaches and put them in these cages so the deers won't get them. This one is the first one. One is a Red Haven peach, the other one I can't quite remember the name of. Yeah, Red Haven peach. And that's a semi-dwarf. And the other one, which is a lot taller, is, let's find out. Intrepid peach. I picked these two because in the pictures, the peaches that, in addition to them being zone 4 tolerant, the pictures, they were the reddest peaches, because I really like peaches that have a lot of red on them. So these two varieties were the ones from the nursery that I found that seemed to have a lot of red peaches on them. And since this whole area back here is kind of the orchard at this point, I am gonna go back there to where that Juneberry tree is, and next year I'm gonna start nurturing it, I guess you could say, to see if that will improve the taste of them, because the mountain Juneberries, or sarvis berries as some people call them, don't taste as good as the ones that I grew up with, but those ones were on a riverbank, so they got a lot more water. So I want to see if it's a varietal difference or if it's a difference in health that makes these not taste as good. The dog is eating my rainwater. Hello! Are you stealing my rainwater? Yes. Okay, I will leave you be. The other thing I'm going to do today is pick all of the really sad onions that I have growing in here, because they're not going to get any bigger, so there's no point in leaving them here for the rest of the season. So I'm going to pick all those. I'll show you what I end up with. And here's the little pile of onions we've ended up with. I actually am going to look into saving these for seed, because if I can store them, especially the purple ones, and the big Elsa Craigs, I might store them in sawdust over the winter and just replant them next year for starters. And here's our cute little pile of corn. These are all the astronomy dominoes, but the only one that's showing any signs of like having a color variation is this one, because it's a little bit more orangey than the others. But I did leave a few cobs that are red, like red corn cobs, on the stalk to save for seed. We also have this one, which was a little deformed one that actually grew without a husk, so that's why it looks so strange. And then here's our little pile of runner beans. When they get old, the beans, they turn red. I was just in the garden doing random garden stuff, and I realized the pepper that I have thought for months was my spiceless jalapeno was not. It's just a pepper that appeared. I'm assuming it was presumed dead because I did look. It has a seed pod on the bottom, so I did plant it myself. I can tell it's not a bell pepper because of the shape, so it's either a cayenne or a regular jalapeno, and I don't know which, so mystery pepper. It's out here because it's leaking. Stop licking that. Stop. I don't know what's in the fertilizer. Probably chicken poop, which is why you want to eat it. So I'm back in town for a bit. Currently organizing a lot of stuff. Some of this is stuff that we're sending home for the winter so the mice don't get it. Some of it is stuff that I keep here because it's electric, like that sewing machine if my camera wants to focus, and all of my sewing stuff to go with it. And then some of it is just stuff that I'm keeping here. I don't know, because when you have a bedroom in your parents' house, you for some reason still decorate it, even when you don't live there anymore. I also just found the sarong I got when I was 11 at the Renaissance Fair, and I used to live in that thing. Like, that was all I wore for like 3 years. As you can see, it's shredded from that. It's also super faded because I used it as a curtain all through high school, kind of like I am doing now. And I was looking at it, and I actually really want to make a quilt out of it this year because it's beyond wearable, and I don't want to like rip any more holes in it or anything. Like, the whole edge on the right side is gone. It's just like frayed. So I want to make a quilt out of it, and I even have the perfect fabric because my winter sheets are these cute unicorns, and I liked them because they looked kind of Celtic. So I'm gonna use those together to make a quilt, and I might use these ones as well because I bought this forever ago to make like a weird gothic Lolita skirt, and they're my ugly unicorns, so I might use those too because I think that would be kind of fun. We also get to see all of the cans I've kept because I did give quite a few away. I probably gave 50% away over here. And so we have 4 jars of pickled beans. That skull there is some pie cherry syrup I made, but I actually took it out of the cans it was originally in, boiled it down more so it would be thicker, and then put it in that can, and then an 8-ounce one. That there is some apple butter that my cousin gave me in exchange for some zucchini jam. This little pile here is the first batch of zucchini jam I made, the pineapple one. And this whole little mountain here is all of the Oregon grape jelly. And I literally don't know how much Oregon grape jelly I actually made, because I thought I made like 23 cans, like 23 of these small cans. I have 18 here, and literally everyone I try to offer it to is like, I already took 3 cans, like from the stash, because they knew they were allowed to take it. And so I don't know how many I had. I must have had at least 35. And then we also have just like a big jar of just the juice. And I really want to make a mulled cider out of that this fall, because I think that would be awesome. I don't know why the camera is not focusing properly. Down there is 4 little jars of pickles, which might be all we end up with, because canning season is pretty much over, and I didn't get any cucumbers, so that was like my practice batch, my practice only batch. And the last little pile in the corner is the remainder of the second batch of zucchini jam with the little hearts in it, because I had so much of that. And I gave so much of it away because I liked the first batch better anyway, so I'm hoarding that one. And that is the recipe we will use next year because it tastes better, in my opinion. I don't like overly sweet jellies or jams. And that's a very sweet jam. It'd be good on ice cream, but that's about it. I like tart ones. My mom was actually telling me that she thought I was trying to kill her with these ones because they were so tart. And I don't like these ones because they're too sweet. I've steadily amassed a little pile of acrylic yarns. Normally I only knit with cotton and natural fibers, but it occurred to me recently, for eco-friendly reasons, because I don't like to buy plastic and all that tree hugger stuff, but it occurred to me recently that I can just buy it secondhand. It's still like, you still have the issue of microplastics like in the laundry, like when you wash them, but this is at least a more eco-friendly way of doing it. So the only ones I bought new were this one, because I was going to use it in Babu's blanket, if you remember, but I hated the color for that project. It actually will serve me a function for a different one. And then these 2, because those came in the mystery box. The rest of these I either bought at the thrift store as yarn, or in the form of other knitted things like blankets and stuff that I unraveled. This one is like my favorite. So I think most people had this problem when they were a kid, where the shower kind of startles them and they don't like showers, they like baths. But most of the time, by the time you're an adult, you get over that. However, since I've been doing basin baths, or basin showers with like a bucket of water and a ladle for almost 6 months now, the idea of having water vigorously dumped on my head is kind of freaking me out. Did Mom go to work? You're sad. Did you know your face looks even cuter on camera? Because it does. Are you gonna sleep there? Because I can't do things if you're laying on me. Oh, quit. You're okay. You're okay, Squishy. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Stop. I can't help you. I can't help you. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, cute girl. But the squish. I squish it. I squish it. Nya nya. Nya nya. Nya nya. I'm starting to think you're faking. Are you faking for pet pets? Are you done screeching? What do you need? I can't help you if you don't tell me what you need. Stop! Mom is on the phone. Quit! Do you want to eat my hand? Not today. Usually that's what you want. Don't eat my computer, please. What do you need? Why don't you get all the way on the bed? Stop. Why don't you get all the way on the bed instead of laying off of it? Don't eat my cord. I just bought... Stop. You are such a drama queen. What? Yeah, get all the way on the bed and then you're not laying off.